Do you know Muhammad Ahmed, right, of the Sudan, 1885, 86, 87? They call him the Mahdi. He decided that the Berlin Conference had just ended.
Mhm.
The Brits signing with the Turks and the Kurds who are now taken over Kemet. They call themselves Arabs, but and the Eastern European Serbs. That's who run Egypt today and call themselves Arabs. But then they were clearly allies and collaborators with the British. And so after the Berlin Conference, the British wanted to seize an island in the Nile called Fasada. There's a book written about it, The Battle of Fasada. If you could seize Fasada, you could control the Nile. But they had to take Khartoum,
Mm.
had to take Sudan.
Mhm.
So they send the greatest general they had in Africa at that time. He was the most popular man in England. His name was Gordon. And they sent him with 23,000 men up against the Sudanese army led by Muhammad Ahmed. Ahmed sent them back up to Cairo with 3,000 men and Gordon's head on a plate.
Wow. History is the guidepost of a people. It teaches you where you are coming from, where you are today, and where you will be in the future. So if you know your history, that history will guide you to a greater, better future. I thank you very much for coming on. This is One Africa Mission. One Africa Mission, we are missionaries. We are on a mission, and our mission is all about the unity of our continent and our collective dignity as a race. So if you want a dignified Africa for the next generation of Africans, then support our mission. How do the number one African mission? How do you support us? Is by sharing what we are doing if you appreciate it. And then please, I'm calling on you, if you haven't really subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, take time out of your busy schedules. I know we are all busy. Take time out of your busy schedules and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Pass your comments, like it, and share it. Let us all together fight for a unified, dignified Africa for the next generation of Africans. I thank you very much. Let's listen to Prof. Come back and talk about it.
Do you know Muhammad Ahmed, right, of the Sudan, 1885, 86, 87? They call him the Mahdi. He decided that the Berlin Conference had just ended. The Brits signing with the Turks and the Kurds who are now taken over Kemet. They call themselves Arabs, but and the Eastern European Serbs. That's who run Egypt today and call themselves Arabs. But then they were clearly allies and collaborators with the British. And so after the Berlin Conference, the British wanted to seize an island in the Nile called Fasada. There's a book written about it, The Battle of Fasada. If you could seize Fasada, you could control the Nile. But they had to take Khartoum, had to take Sudan. So they send the greatest general they had in Africa at that time. He was the most popular man in England. His name was Gordon. And they sent him with 23,000 men up against the Sudanese army led by Muhammad Ahmed. Ahmed sent them back up to Cairo with 3,000 men and Gordon's head on a plate.
Wow.
The British went crazy. So they went to China and got the big general called Kitchener and brought him to Africa with the British army and the Turkish army, and then collaborated with the French, who had now seized many of our people in Senegal and that area, to attack the Sudan. We need to know these stories.
No.
And so they couldn't defeat Ahmed, so they got a collaborator, a traitor to poison him. Then Abdallah, black as night, bald like me, became the leader. But they were able to assassinate Abdallah as well. And one of the things, and I know sometimes people say you shouldn't say that, but if the army of Menelik had held up the Eastern Front, we would have defeated the Brits in Sudan, and the colonialism would have ended right there. Because the French came at us from the west, the Brits and the Turks and the Serbs in the north. And we needed to have our flank on the east. But because the Brits had helped to finance the Ethiopian throne against the Italians, the Ethiopians felt an obligation not to go against the Brits, and we lost the Battle of Sudan. History will inform you in a way that you can understand how we got in this situation and you can begin to design how we will get out of this situation. And there's not a shortage of African literature on this.
Yes, so Prof is talking about what happened in the Sudan in the late 18th centuries after the colonial criminals divided Africa among themselves, and the British were out there to take over the Nile. But they had to first face the Sudanese army, which was a superior army to that of the British. But what did the British did? They went in collaboration with other nations to defeat us. Just as today, they still have NATO. But we could not come together as African people to face the British. Because if you listen to Prof very carefully or very well, Prof is talking about the Ethiopians could not betray the British because the British helped them to fight the Italians. But if the Ethiopians had said, you know what, this is an African mission, this is an African problem, so we cannot betray our own Sudanese brothers and sisters, so we will stand by them, there is no way the British could have defeated our people. So the time has come for we, the children of Africa, to learn from history. We may have differences, but when it comes to the colonial criminals, if it will take betrayal to stand against them, let us do it. Because when it comes to us, they will betray us just to benefit their own colonial brothers. The French and the British were never in good terms, but when it comes to dealing with the continent of Africa, they will come together and deal with us. The Germans and all the Europeans, they have never been in good terms, but when it comes to dealing with us, they will put aside their differences and deal with us. Why are we not able to do that? Just as Prof was saying, if the Ethiopians had helped the Sudanese, then colonialism would have ended in the late or in the early 19th century. Colonization would have ended in the early 19th century. But because we said we cannot betray the British because they had helped us, look at what they have done to us. We all become victims of them. They will defeat your brother. As you sit down, tomorrow it will be your turn. After they defeated us, what did they do? They went on to defeat they went on to fight the Ethiopians. So let us learn from history, because history is very important, and then put aside whatever differences we think we have, and then fight these colonialists together. Because if not together, if we don't come together, there's no way we are going to defeat these colonizers, because they are tricky. They would put aside their differences, come together and fight us. What about us? Let us learn from the history of our forefathers, the mistakes that our forefathers did. If it will take betrayal to come together and fight the colonizers, let's betray them. After all, they don't have our interests. The colonizers don't have our interests. Everything that they will ever do, it is for their own interests. I thank you very much for coming around. If you appreciate what we are doing, as I keep calling on you, support our mission by sharing it, by liking it, by also try to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, on TikTok. One Africa Mission. Together, me and you will make Africa great and better for the future generation of Africans. Thank you.